to have this LinkedIn Live event with all of those amazing authors. It is part of a Kindle Flash sale campaign, and we're just four of us here. But overall, it's more than 50 authors sharing their books with the world for just 99 cents. I read some of those books. They're amazing. So I'm going to read more, I tell you the truth. And today we're going to talk about our books, like about our journey as authors. And I'll start with my book, which is Clicking. It's a book for leaders, how to build self-sufficient teams. Basically, a team building strategy for overloaded leaders who want better team trust, a better result, and more time. And this book is, again, it's for any leader who's overloaded, who's struggling, who wanted to be there for their team, but just on the edge of burnout, and you've tried everything, but nothing is helping. So this book is definitely going to help you. And Marcy, I'm really curious, like, what's your book about?
Yes. So my book is Reclaim Your Workday. And this is written in levels and categories. So each chapter is divided up into email and chat communication, meetings, task management, hybrid and remote work, vacation and time off. So every chapter, we're covering a different part of the everyday work life. But then within each chapter, there are tactics for individual contributor that everybody can do, manager level, and then C-suite business owner.
That is amazing. A layered book, multi-layered book. And David, what's your book about?
But uh, continue the theme, as it were, about leadership. My background, real quickly, is 53 years of consulting to businesses and 7 years in certified EOS implementing. And anybody, if you know about it, it's a very good system. But what I'm trying to address here, same thing. The theme for the day is leadership. Uh, Executives, business owners have tried many things, and most of the time it's trying to put a system in place that'll make them run better. Well, great. Systems are perfect, but they don't allow for the human part. So, like Stacy, Daria, Marcy, on your books about the leader, mine is also about the leader, but it's about how within an organization, not individual leadership, but within an organization, to build a culture of community, of people that want to work. So there are similar themes today. Mine is a little different approach. It's within the organization, how to build a culture.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so cool. Okay. And Stacy, how about you?
I'm so honored to be here with you all in leadership. How rare is it that we get to talk leadership with each other and share it with other people? I think it's awesome. My book is Reframing the Leadership Dance, The Secret to Finding Your Rhythm as a People Leader. This book is not for the brand newbie leader. It's for the leader who is leading people, has been leading people, knows the right things to do, has been reading the books, doing all the things, and they get to a point where they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, and they either hit the person that it doesn't work with and they don't know why, and they feel like they're beating their head against the wall, and that other person's not stepping up, not stepping in, not dancing with them, or they feel like they're just exhausted. They've been doing all the right things and they start to get resentful, like, why am I doing more than everybody else? And I really have written the book from a perspective of emotional intelligence and systems theory and connection, interpersonal connection, and ritual and habits and all those things. But it's really for any leader who's finding themselves in that spot, right?
Hmm. It's amazing. Like we share all those different perspectives and different layers, and organizational and inner and team, and like I think leaders should read all of those four books to actually move forward with their teams. But Stacey, like for you joining this Kindle Flash sale, how does it feed in your marketing campaign? Is it your first time, or maybe you've joined before?
I have done this. I think I'm on my fourth time, Daria.
Wow.
I think this is the fourth time I've been through, and I love it every single time because I get to meet smart, authors like you all. I get to read your work, and I also get to get exposure to people that I might not otherwise. I wrote this book because my clients always told me my voice is what they hear in their head when they hit the problem, and they hear me talking to them, and they wish everybody else had that in their mind. And so I thought, well, how do I get my voice out to other people? How do they get to know who I am and what my personality is and what my approach is? And that's why I wrote the book, more as an introduction. So I love these Kindle campaigns because people can get introduced to me in a really low cost, 99 cents way, and they don't have to invest a lot of time. They can read it in a couple hours, and they can get a sense of, oh, is this style, is this person the right fit for me in a really easy, simple way.
Yeah. And I love this collaboration vibe here and on LinkedIn and everywhere. And Marcia, oh my God, you are not the first one. It's not your first show, but again, right?
No, I think I've done it at least 4 times. Like that's how I knew
Wow.
Stacy when she got on the call, and maybe five times. But for me, it is a way for me because my book does have the level of manager and C-suite business owner leaders, but really that individual contributor too. Like anybody could pick it up and find something that they could do for themselves. And so it's low cost barrier, like Stacy said. And so when I have the flash sale, the way I market it is I market it to my managers or business owners and say, like, here's a low cost way to buy for your team where it's only 99 cents. And because anybody can read on the Kindle app. But also, like Stacy said, I get to download other people's books for 99 cents and read them. And I have, it's mostly what I'm reading are other authors' books from flash sales.
Cool. Yeah. David, and for you?
Well, in contrast to both Stacy and Marcy, I'm the newbie here. This is my first book, so I go into writing my book. Well, actually, one level 30 years ago, but currently this book, as everybody else is holding it up, except me, is less than a year old. It only came out, in fact, in May. I did not know about Kindle flash sales. So this is a whole new journey for me, but the idea and actually now the proof of the concept of reading not only great authors' books, I mean, this has been a crash course in reading for me, but also using the networks to extend, to find the right readers, the one who will actually implement the ideas that we have in these leadership books. So it's how do we engage the content and add it to the digital bookshelf, as it were. And at 99 cents is a perfect way to do it. So it's a great way to get in there and extend it. It's the kind of visibility that leads to meaningful implementation for me. For me, it's all about the implementation, to look even at the quality of the authors right here on this call, from Stacy, Marcy, and Daria. I'm flattered to be here. But again, this is new territory for me. I'm the virgin, as it were.
Okay. Stacy?
I just wanted to add to what David is saying. I think when we're working with leaders ourselves, it's always nice to have those other titles to recommend to them. So like I've recommended Marcy's book in the past to the leaders that I'm working with that don't have those efficient habits in their day-to-day. And nobody teaches this stuff, right? Marcy's got a simple way to take a look at how do I manage my email and as things come in, right? And how do I break that down? How do I batch things? I love the batching, right? And I teach my leaders that I work with this, but it's here, read Marcy's book, that she's the expert in that. She knows that. I'm working with you on the other side of it with the emotions and the human interactions. Read this. You can go and check this out, and it's complementary. So I love it.
I agree.
And again, I don't mind piling on a minute. While again, the similarity of the themes we have, while the umbrella is about leadership, Marcy's book is all about hints and helps and trips and traps that'll get you there. Stacy's book is about individual leadership, and my book is about organizational leadership, or how do you lead an organization. So this combination that I haven't seen before, that is spontaneously coming alive during this call, is part of what the Kindle Flash Sale is about.
I agree. I mean, that's my first Kindle Flash sale as well. I mean, it's my first book, my first Kindle Flash sale. And again, I totally support it. I always like get asked from leaders, okay, what should I read? And okay, what is the article? I have a bunch of articles, but now I have books. Okay, you can read this book. And that's amazing. Yeah. And Marcy?
Yeah, Stacy, I'm glad you brought that up, because some authors may feel like, no, I don't want to promote somebody else's book. I want to promote my book. But anybody that picks up a book like ours is probably going to pick up another book like ours. They're not going to read one leadership book or one professional development book and feel like they have it all. I certainly don't. And so it is not competitive in any way. It is together we're better. And when they finish our book, they're going to pick up another book. And so, to be the one that recommends those books is just as good sometimes as being the book that they just read.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. We can earn like the win-win-win situation. Like everybody wins: the leaders, organizations, their customers, authors, and all. So I see we have two first-time authors. That's myself and David, and two experienced authors. That's Stacy and Marcy. And like Marcy, how's the writing the second one? This book is different from writing your first book.
Well, I've actually written 4 books. This is my 4th. And I wrote my first one 11 years ago. And my joke is that my first book, because my husband is a professional musician, and so I put it in music analogy, where like the first book was like me recording in my parents' basement. And then my second book was like me recording in a local studio with a friend that kind of had some stuff, they knew a little bit. My third book was like I went to Nashville. And my 4th book is I am in LA. I have the full, like the whole team and everything. And they've just gotten better every time. The way books are marketed has changed so much in the last decade. Actually, since my 3rd book, they've changed so much. The way they're written, the resources that we have, things like this. And so, I'm writing my 5th next year. I already have it slated for Q1, and I already know I'm going to launch it differently than I launched this one.
Okay, that's an inspiration for me, definitely. And Stacy, how about you? Like, how's your this book is different from your previous ones?
I didn't write any books before. This is my first book.
Okay.
But I've done the launch or the Kindle sale multiple times. I did write a dissertation back in 2009.
That's a book. Yeah.
That was
a lot of work, definitely.
Endeavors. Really studying clients and coaches, and how clients we might not always see and understand what clients are experiencing. We make assumptions, right? So how do we become more aware of the assumptions we're under as practitioners? But it's a very different thing to write a dissertation with theory and to write something which is, hey, I get where you're coming from. Let's talk about this. It doesn't have to be the way it is. I think we all can agree. We see leaders every day who get caught in the trap of, well, I'm supposed to. And what's they're trying and they're supposed to be doing just isn't working. So how do we give them the missing piece? And I think each of us has a different way of doing that. How do we help them find that missing piece? My next book that I'm so inspired by Marcy. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm next year. What I want to do is I want to take my leadership lab that I run around people that it's not working with. And why is that? It's not about them. It's not about us. It's about what's happening when we're dancing with certain kinds of people and we're a certain kind of person. And how do I make that like a desktop reference book for, hey, oh, I'm this kind of person and I'm dealing with this kind of person. This is the stereotype of that person, but how can I get out of that? How can I think about it differently, like I have in coaching conversations every day?
Nice. How did you overcome this kind of maybe inner voice that's saying, okay, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready to write a book? There were a lot of concerns while writing a book. How did you actually like wrote it? How did you do that?
Yeah, I still have that. I come on here and I say, oh my gosh, like, is anyone gonna like my book? Like, I don't know. I'm still I still handle that. And I think it's back to what we were talking about before. For me, it's about every client has the person they need right now, who is the voice that will help them where they're at right this minute.
Right.
And maybe I'm the person right now, and David's the person 2 years from now for that certain person. And Marcy's the thing they have on their desktop that helps them while they're working with one of us, or she's the next one and you're the next one. But it doesn't matter what order I'm in. That's what I keep telling myself, is they may or may not need me right now. And I keep saying, well, it's not about me being the best. It's not about me being right. It's about me being of service to the people who need me in this moment. And that's how I write myself, you know?
Yeah, I agree. We're doing it for other people so that they can read, they can take something from it, they can try it, and they can make their life better. I agree. And David, with your like 30 years of experience, I guess you had those ideas. I should write a book. I have some ideas for the book, but you wrote it now. So how did you do that?
Well, I can go back and clarify my earlier comment. Yeah, 30 years ago, I had an idea, and actually the book is still on the shelf. I wrote it typewriter and the whole works.
Oh, okay.
So here I am about 2 years ago, trying to write something from my experience as an executive coach. What is it that the leader needs? No, not from with apologies, Stacy, but not from an academic point of view, not from a telling point of view, but a helping point of view, helping guide them into leadership. So what I actually ended up publishing, Supercharge, is the fourth version of the book I wrote in 2 years. I threw away the first three versions, quite literally threw them away. After finishing them and get them at a point where I'm ready to think about the copyright, I just chunked them in the trash can and said, no, that's not it. Let's start all over. So the inner voice, as you call it, was screaming at me from multiple levels, just beating me up on every other way. I ended up again taking it all the way down to almost conversational. In fact, one of my chapters is scripts to hold particular type of conversation. So it's a practical how-to, but it was that inner voice, Daria, as you called it, that's just been screaming at me all along. And even now it screams periodically, because much like Stacy and Marcy and Daria, likely you, I have book number 2 already ready to go. Book 3 about 3/4 of the way through, all in the process of waiting for this one to come live. So it's been an incredible process. I gave myself permission to poke some bubbles in some sacred cows. I've been described in my consulting practice or coaching practice, either one, historically, as sort of like a unicorn in a balloon factory. I don't mind poking bubbles at things that are perceived in the marketplace to be the end all to be alls, and they're not. They're sold wrong. And I don't need to get into the real politics of it right now, but I'm trying to counter and help those counter what's going on in the prevailing marketplace, and help the clients we work with, every one of them, who have the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
They're stuck as a business leader. They've never been there before. They've got success hanging around their neck or hanging them by the neck, and they don't know how to do it. So I'm there for those folks.
I'm
And
so glad you
again,
wrote it, and the idea of like writing a script is really interesting. And like I liked writing. I liked reading scripts when I was a child. It was my best reading. Reading is yeah. For me, it's my first book. I started writing it. I think 5 years ago.
okay.
I stopped like wrote half of it, stopped, threw it away. Then again, about 3 years ago, I wrote a half. I mean, not a half, even. I mean, maybe a third. Again, stopped, threw it away, and then last year I started writing and I finished it because it kind of felt what I want to say. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my story. When I had my story, it was much more easier to finish it. So I'm really happy to do that. And like you all, it's once you do that once, it's hard to stop. Kind of keep thinking, okay, what's next? What's my next book is gonna be about?
Well, Barry, I'm here to
Okay,
tell you. I'm
yeah,
here to tell you that personally, your Clicking is a very good book. It's a must read. So
thanks,
if
thanks.
anybody's watching, go grab it.
I love the part where she says, "Smart goals aren't enough.
Mm.
Smart goals aren't enough." And the other, the other commonality that I think we all have is that I think in some way, shape, or form, each one of us says it's important to have structure because trust comes from structures. And I think each of us says it differently. Trust comes from habits. Trust comes from ritual. Trust comes from how you set up your purpose statements and what you do and that you do it together. I think we're all saying that in a different way and maybe speaking to different places people are in.
Yeah.
And again, probably one of the commonalities is that we see organizations different from the traditional command and control patriarchal type of organizations I run into every single day as business owners think that they can be more successful by demanding, commanding, and being the decision maker in an organization, yet they're killing themselves and the organization in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they think that, but I think they also wish it, like they wish it was that simple. And maybe we're working with people on the things that just aren't that simple, and we're helping them do the things they kind of know inside that they need to do. Even like Marcy, all the stuff in your book, how people can tackle the things that seem impossible. It'd be so easy to say, well, that's just the way work is. The inbox is full and I can't be productive and people are interrupting me all day long. But when they read your book, they can see that, oh, no, I'm making choices here. I have different choices. There are other things that I can try. And Daria, like on teams, we say, oh, the culture of the team is just this.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't have to be that way. We get to make choices. And
Right.
that's what I love about this. We can give people hope.
Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. That's so beautifully said, Stacy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like your book is beautifully written. If you thought that was beautifully said, that is the way her book is written. Yeah.
Well, the
Very
title
poetic in the way it comes out. Yes.
And the title is like the dance, and I love this
Yes.
metaphor of kind of dancing around with people. That is so kind of, yeah, cool. Okay, well, let's show our books to all the who's watching us now. Remember those books and check out more. Check out more. Okay, now kindleflashsale.com/Daria. I'm gonna share the screen so that you see it and you have it. It's kindleflashsale.com/Daria. And you also have the link in the comments to this live event. And well, thank you so much for having this conversation. That was amazing thing to meet you all, to read your books, to learn about your author's journey, and good luck with everything we do.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Back at y'all. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And to personally, at least virtually, meet you has been an honor. Thank you.